The tone curve panel, in general, is used if you want to add a little more contrast to your photo outside of what you added in the basic panel. At the top we find that we have icons to move between a parametric curve, a point curve, and individual red, green, and blue channels, which we'll go over soon, but first a quick understanding of the curves themselves. Each curve we'll go over represents changes made to the tonal scale of your picture. Aside from the ghost of your photo's histogram, we have a horizontal axis for the original tonal values, the input values, with black on the left and lighter values to the right. And we have a vertical axis for the changed tonal values, the output values, with black at the bottom and progressing to white at the top. Our current straight line means that our inputs will output just as they are. No changes have been made yet. When a point on the curve moves up, you have a higher output for your specific input and it becomes lighter, and down means a lower output and darker like you would expect. There are some presets located at the bottom here to help you get started with your points curve if you so please. But otherwise, click anywhere on the line to create a new point on your curve and move it to change the output values for a specific input such as darkening the shadows or lightening the highlights. Oh my, what's that? Gasp. Shadow clipping. As we've seen in class, it is here where you can prevent the clipping of any shadows or highlights in your image by raising or lowering the output accordingly. Now that it is fixed, for more hands-on control of your image, use the targeted adjustment tool to change the values of a specific area of your photo. Notice as you hover over the image that the corresponding area of the tone curve is highlighted. Once you've found an area you'd like to change, click and drag downward to darken it and upward if you wish to lighten it. The targeted adjustment tool works with all other curves and channels. The parametric curve allows you more gradual control over value and feels most similar to the adjustments that can be made in the basic panel. This less direct control is a result of moving curves rather than points. Due to its far less extreme nature, it seems more so suited for small adjustments. It features familiar sliders to adjust the curve up or down for each specific value region, and the ability to click and drag on the graph if that's more so your style. These sliders directly below the graph are shadow, midtone, and highlight split sliders, which determine how constrained the regions of your curve are. Again, the parametric curve seems most suited for small global value adjustments in your image. The RGB channels are where you can control how specific values in your image get toned. In the blue channel, you have the ability to tone blue and yellow, which makes this curve largely similar to the temperature slider in the basic panel. To make an adjustment, just click and drag a point towards either half of the gradient to tone those values accordingly. Moving over to the green channel, you have green and magenta, which makes this curve similar to the tint slider in the basic panel. In the red channel, you have red and cyan, which, as far as I can tell, don't share any similarities to anything else. In many ways, these channels can be used in a similar way to split toning, but offer a greater amount of control in the same way the previous value curves give you greater control than the value sliders. But, in my opinion, it offers possibly a little too much control for what could be done more easily through split toning. It's certainly less friendly with the difficulty it takes to achieve certain colors compared to just using split toning, but it can be done. Use it if you need total control over the colors in your image. Hold Shift while dragging a point to constrain it to moving only up or down. For even more precise movement, click on a point you wish to move, and click the number next to the input or output and drag accordingly. Use the arrow keys to move the value up or down by 1, or just type in a number.
What have I done?
To fix any possible mistakes you've made on your curve, double-click an adjustment to bring it back to normal. And finally, right-click or control-click to access a bunch of options such as Show All Curves, Copy Channel Settings, Paste Channel Settings, Reset Channel, and Reset All Channel.